Think before you act. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jack who lived in a small village on the outskirts of a great kingdom. Jack was a very impulsive child and often acted without thinking. He was known for getting into trouble with his parents, his teachers, and even his friends because of his lack of foresight. One day, Jack's village was hit by a terrible drought that lasted for several weeks. The crops were drying up, and the villagers were running out of food and water. The village elders decided to send a delegation to the king to ask for help. Jack was very eager to help his village, and he volunteered to go with the delegation. The delegation consisted of the village chief, a wise old man, and Jack. They set out on their journey to the capital, which was several days away. Along the way, they encountered a group of bandits who demanded that they hand over all their valuables. The village chief, being a wise man, knew that it was best not to resist and gave the bandits what they wanted. Jack, however, was furious and wanted to fight back. He was about to attack the bandits when the old man stopped him and reminded him of the importance of thinking before acting. The delegation continued on their journey and finally arrived at the capital. They were received by the king, who listened to their plight and promised to send aid to the village. Jack was overjoyed and thanked the king profusely. The king, impressed by Jack's enthusiasm, offered him a job as his personal assistant. Jack was delighted and accepted the offer without thinking about the consequences. As the king's assistant, Jack was given many responsibilities, but he often acted without thinking. He made many mistakes, and the king was not pleased with his performance. Jack realized his mistake and decided to change his ways. He began to think carefully before taking any action, and his work improved significantly. One day, the kingdom was threatened by an enemy army. The king asked Jack to come up with a strategy to defend the kingdom. Jack knew that this was a critical moment and he needed to be careful with his decisions. He spent many days thinking about the best course of action and finally came up with a plan that involved both defensive and offensive maneuvers. The enemy army attacked, but the kingdom's defenses were too strong. Jack's plan worked, and the kingdom emerged victorious. The king was very pleased with Jack's performance and rewarded him with a Medal of Honor. From that day on, Jack became known as a wise and thoughtful person. He was respected by everyone in the kingdom, and he continued to serve the king faithfully for many years. He learned that the most important thing in life is not to act impulsively, but to think carefully before taking any action. In conclusion, the story of Jack teaches us the importance of thinking before acting. Impulsive actions can lead to disastrous consequences, while careful planning and thoughtful decision making can lead to success and respect. We must learn to control our emotions and think rationally when faced with difficult situations. By doing so, we can avoid making mistakes and achieve our goals with confidence and grace. The end. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.